Hey everyone, RJ Waters here with National Trash Relay Training and Online Education. What I want to talk about today is how to start a valet trash business, an ultimate guide, right? The complete overview of kind of what the service is and how you can implement it and get started right away if you wanted to do something, similar to start a valet trash business. So let's get going. So, what is valet trash? Well, valet trash service is a collection service where a service valet, pictured here, goes door to door to pick up trash and take it down to the dumpsters. So the valet trash service is usually done in apartment complexes, but you could expand and do it in condo complexes, homes, wherever a valet trash service might be good, or where you think you could start a valet trash business overall. So you can see here pictured, it's the service valet is going around picking up trash, at each door, and would fill his service bag. And we'll kind of get into, next here, the steps and the overall, job description that a valet will have. So what does valet trash, or how does valet trash work? So as you can see on the graphic on the left, this will be on the next couple slides here. Step 1, 2, and 3 kind of simplified it. Tenant places out trash for step 1. Step 2, the service valet comes around and picks up the trash. Step 3, the service valet then takes it down to the dumpsters on site and disposes of the trash. So we'll kind of dive into it more a little bit here. So up front, what you want to do is once you receive a contract or have a contract with an apartment complex, you would provide each apartment resident with a company branded trash container. That way your logo and information is on it. So not only is it kind of marketing as people maybe move throughout the apartment complexes, but at the same time, if they have questions or concerns, they would actually call you and could voice those, say someone didn't pick up my trash or, whatever that might be. The apartment resident uses the trash container as their garbage can in their kitchen. So we recommend, this 13-gallon regular trash container for kitchens. Otherwise, if you have a larger complex that wants to use, larger like 55-gallon, bin, you can always work something out like that. Or some that are more luxurious want more of a, I guess you could say like a bench or a box type approach where multiple units would share it. So when the trash is full, the resident sets out the trash can and with the tied garbage bag inside and outside their door in the hallway between 6 and 8 p.m. So they'll set it out between 6 and 8 p.m. and then the magic starts to happen. So the service valet will show up at the property promptly at 8 p.m. Then the service valet will, make sure they've got the proper equipment, a large service bag, or if you have a truck that you're using on property to throw the trash in, whatever that might be, gloves, some cleaning supplies, everything that would kind of encompass, servicing trash for that apartment complex. And then we suggest you start at the furthest end, away from the community dumpster or, recycling, bins that would be located there. And then you'll pick the trash up and you'll just kind of start going through the complex and until you fill your bag and you can take it down, and then you can use your truck to drive it down, or you can just, depending on how many dumpsters there are within the community, you could just walk to the dumpster. So say there's a 300 unit apartment complex and they've got 7 dumpsters, you could do each segment of the buildings, and probably service to one trash area and then go back up. So the service valet will repeat picking up trash until the bags outside the doors and the trash cans that you provide are fully serviced. So they'll, like I said, if it's 300 unit apartment complex, they will go door to door to door to door until finally all the trash has been serviced and recycling if you offer that service as well. So while servicing the trash, they will notate any valet trash violations and let management know by the morning. So there's a form that you could create and fill out just to know, like, hey, apartment 106 did a violation. They had too many bags. It was all over the place. They were spilled open, and you would give them the violation. That violation can then be used on the management side to fine them, or just warn them, or just keep for their records, as they live in the unit. So this service mostly is Sunday through Thursday. You can adjust your business how you see fit. You could offer 7 days a week. You could offer 3 days a week, whatever really fits for you and your apartment complex that you would be servicing. But it's usually Sunday through Thursday. Starts at 8 p.m. You could do mornings if you wanted to. Once again, whatever works for, the company that you'll be working with. But usually, if you start at 8 p.m., you want to finish up no later than midnight. So, on average, 100 units can take, or 100 doors will take an hour. Usually, Sunday is your heaviest service day because you'll come back, having 2 nights off. You'll come back on Sunday, and usually everyone's kind of got their trash out. So you'll have to go through and service that. But then as the week goes on, even if it's a 2 or 3 or 400 unit apartment complex, the trash service is lighter because not every door is setting it out nightly. It's almost like, 1 every 3 days, they'll kind of set their trash out. So, but Sunday will be your heaviest day of service. Once all the trash bags have been serviced, make sure to pick up all the loose trash around the dumpster. So, the service valet will just kind of, look and make sure that everything is ready to go, because you want the property to be as in essentially tip-top shape as possible, so that when the potential new renters come in the next day, it's already ready to go. It's sparkling clean, right? You're there to service trash and to help with all the trash on property. When all tasks have been done, at this point, night's over. Service valet can kind of get out of there. So then why starting a valet trash business is a great idea? You kind of have to mull around. Is trash right for me, or is it, something I should look into? We're going to kind of cover that here in a couple topics. So why starting a valet trash business is a great idea? There's a lot of potential. So obviously money can be made, and one complex can be life-changing. One 300 unit complex can, offer quite a bit of revenue for you. On our website, nationaltrashvalet.com, we have a free revenue generator report that you can see and kind of play around with and see what you would be charging a complex and what you will, could potentially be making on a 1, 2, 3, 500 unit complex, whatever that might be. And you'll see right away that the amount of money that you can make is pretty substantial. So also this service is rising in demand. So it's gained a lot of popularity over the years because it's, overall it keeps the community clean. The residents don't have to deal with trash, so it's one less thing. It's viewed as an amenity. And then also the apartment complex receives, some of the money that they'll be charging back to the resident. So you're getting paid, the complex is getting paid, the resident doesn't have to deal with trash besides setting it out their apartment door. It's kind of a win-win-win for all three that are involved. So it's definitely rising in demand, especially with larger apartment communities and property management companies that are looking for an additional way or resource to bring on new revenue. And this is one of those ways, because unlike your pool or your gym or a volleyball court or the grills that are considered amenities, they don't actually bring in revenue. It's nice to have, but this is something that will bring in revenue for the apartment complex and the management company. So it's a rewarding path. So obviously there'd be financial security as you start to grow your business. You're being your own boss. And then you're actually watching something that you create, whether it's by yourself or with a partner, going out and you're growing as you get one apartment complex, and then you can grow with that property management company, or you span into another apartment complex. Whatever it might be, you're growing and you're building something for yourself and for potentially your family for years to come. And also, it's an affordable option to start up as a business. You need to inject a little money just to get up and running, like any company, where some marketing stuff, website, whatever that might be. But you can keep it pretty frugal overall to kind of get up and running and make sure that your business is operational or could even be viable. So like I said, you can hold off on some of these items, and we'll cover those here in a second. So these are expense examples, right? So on the left-hand side, you'll see valet trash startup expenses. So obviously, we recommend getting an LLC or business entity set up, a phone number, which something we recommend is CallRail, because then it can kind of record calls that come in, and it can port those numbers to a cell phone. So really, you could be anywhere in your city or in the county or even in another state and receive a phone call if someone's calling you for a sales quote. A website is fantastic because it soft sells and it's a 24-hour piece of marketing material for you. Your business cards, your basic marketing materials that you'll kind of leave behind as you go door to door, and then a business email account, and then licensing if your business or state requires it. Not all states require it. That's something that you'll just have to check with your municipality, as everything is different in each county. So valet trash expenses that you can wait on, business insurance upfront. So we recommend that this is one that you can kind of hold. You can get if you want, or you can wait until you start to get meetings with properties or get a property under contract. Your valet trash containers. So your, the valet trash bins or the garbage containers that you would have branded with your name on it, those are going to be one of the largest expenses of your company. And to get into a 300 unit apartment complex can cost, a few $1,000s just in trash containers, but you definitely make that money up as the contract runs on. So upfront, you don't need to purchase those yet, because we recommend that you get a contract signed with an apartment complex first, and then you secure, hey, we'll start in 4 or 6 weeks, and it allows you time to get the containers and then properly integrate the service as needed. Service valet supplies. Once again, you don't need that stuff until you're servicing an apartment complex. And at that point, you can get your over-the-shoulder bag. You can get a mini cart or whatever might be workable for the complex that you're servicing. And then hiring. You don't necessarily need to hire anyone up front, because we recommend that starting any business, it's best to learn your own business first, right? You should go out there. You should do the sales. You should do the marketing side. You should do the actual servicing the apartments, because then as things arise, you'll feel so much more comfortable with exactly where your business is going, it's heading, and you can answer more questions just right off the cuff instead of, oh, well, I might need to check with that and get back to you later. You'll be more confident as you go through your sales process and cycle. But as soon as you want to, and you have a property or two and you want to hire a valet, by all means, go for it. This is the point when you want to start becoming a business owner and, move your way out of the business while still growing the business, because sometimes you can't move forward until you find the right people to help you, take up some of those areas. So next, I want to talk about the 8 essential steps for starting a valet trash business. So these are pretty essential. Number one, you have to find your identity. So your USP, or your unique selling proposition, you need to review your experience and skills with this and decide that, hey, as a USP for my company, this is exactly what my company is going to be doing. So you need to do your market research and competitor research. You need to narrow down your options and the services that you offer, right? You don't want to offer everything up front to everyone at the moment. Focus right on the valet trash service, and then you can grow to bulk removal, and then you can do apartment trash outs. And then you can do like, hey, we can do power washing, so you can kind of grow as you once again get into one community and start to become all encompassing for them in some of the dirtier jobs, because people will pay pretty well for jobs that they don't want to do that are dirty. Especially in the case with apartment complex, when they want their maintenance staff not to worry about trash and issues like this. They really want them to focus on turning over units, fixing holes or leaks or whatever that might be, to make sure that that apartment is rented and ready to go. So the less you can take off their plate and the more services you can provide, the better off you're going to be. And obviously you'll come up with your business name, and then create your USP, or your unique selling proposition, to define what you'll truly offer, as a valet trash business. Number 2, write a business plan. So this is a crucial step, right? So it kind of makes you start to think a little bit outside the box and specifically of your business, right? You need to research your competitors, estimate your expenses and your revenue, create a SWOT analysis to see, where your company lies and where you need to, where you're strong at and where you're weak at. It gives you direction, because you can always refer back to the business plan and say, okay, I've kind of done this. This should be the next step at this moment. And then obviously, overall, it's just a blueprint for your success up front, because especially when you're starting a business, you want something to kind of help guide you. And the best way to do it, once again, is kind of writing down, these are my actionable items that I need to do. These are my estimates. And then you'd go from there to create your business plan. And there's a few tools out there. You can do it yourself. We offer an option within our Valet Trash online training. And then also we recommend Live Plan. So that's something that would live on Live Plan's website, and you can update it any time that you want. And they're pretty affordable, per month, to kind of get up and running and help you calculate your financials and all that stuff. Number 3, form your entity. So We recommend forming an LLC. You could do just a DBA if you want to. LLCs, there's more protection on. We also recommend, speaking with an attorney on this or a CPA to kind of get their idea of what would be better to classify your business at. Um, so any suitable corporate entity that would work for you. And then, like I said, you would need to visit your local business, office, or go online and kind of see what their requirements are. If there's additional, like a business license or tax ID number or things like that, because you will need at least like an EIN or something for when you do start to generate revenue and you have to file taxes later. So, and two of the best things to have on your side are an attorney and a CPA. And you can usually get an hour consultation with each and just kind of go over the business and what you're doing, and then see if it's something that would be a fit for you to move forward. Otherwise, like I said, down here, number 3, you can use LegalZoom or a local attorney at some point if you feel like you're going to be doing quite a bit of work back and forth with them. Otherwise, LegalZoom can be fairly affordable and a quick option to get an entity started. Number 4, your startup funds, right? So this is usually the big question. I want to start a business. How much is it going to cost? So we recommend that you just start with enough money to cover your expenses. And if you're working another job or you're going to jump in 2 feet right away, it's kind of recommended $500 to $3,000 suggested startup budget. Now that's kind of a wide range, but this is all comes back on you and what you want to source, right? So if you have, a couple $100, you're like, for a couple $100, I can get business cards, I can get a flyer done. You can get maybe even a website done, depending. So there's all these things that you could get done depending within your budget. And really, there's only a couple things you need to start off with: business card, flyer, website, phone number. Those are like bare bone minimum what you could use to, get out there and at least look professional when you stop in apartment complexes or start cold calling or whatever you might be doing. So if at this point you're looking for, resources, there's a couple options that we can give you as well here. So you could ask a friend for a loan, or if a friend even wants to partner with you, like, hey, come on with me, and, we'll combine forces and each throw in a couple $100 and, do something pretty great here. You could ask a family member for a loan. You can resources like Lendio, Prosper, or Lending Club. You could look at the SBA loans. Those are a little hard to get at times, but could be an option. And then there's other creative ways, like if you just go to have a garage sale, you could easily make a couple $100 just selling your items to get your startup funds for, your marketing resources. Because really, upfront, it's the marketing. The marketing leads to sales. Sales leads to contracts. Contracts lead to service. Service leads to recurring revenue. And then, you could trade. There's quite a few ways, or even on Craigslist or a couple websites, that you can actually trade services. I currently do this. I will trade you if you design me, marketing material. So there's options. There's pretty interesting options that you can use to get your business started. Number 5, prepare your marketing materials. So we talked about, a business card, right? So a business card should have your logo, phone number, email, company name, title, and address. Or if you're, working remotely, or if you use a UPS store as your address, you can go ahead and include your address if you want, but you don't necessarily even need to have address, as long as it's got crucial information: company name, logo, phone number, email. Those are extremely crucial. Your leave behind. This is your marketing flyer. This could be something that if you do stop into an apartment complex, you can just easily drop off and say, this is about my service. This is what we offer. Think of it as kind of like your elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is your 30 or 45 seconds. If you had to describe your business in 30 or 45 seconds going up in an elevator to someone, what is that? They always say time is money and all that kind of thing. But really, with property managers, they get pitched by a lot of different vendors for a lot of different things, whether it could be lawn service, trash service, anything, overall marketing, whatever it might be. So the quicker that you can hone in on exactly what you want to say and what your company is about to get all your points across, the better off you'll be. And then if you want to be more original, you can add a unique gift. Some of you know that we've used small blue trash containers that are branded with our logo on it. That way, when you call back, you're like, hey, we're the trash can people. And they'll right away, it's either the property manager or the sales rep, whoever it is. Oh yeah, totally. It breaks the ice. And that's half of it, right? Half of it is just breaking the ice to get the call to schedule the meeting. And then when you get in the meeting and you show them, pricing and what you can do for them, they're usually extremely receptive to that, which would then bring you to your sales kit. So inside the sales kit, when you go to a sales meeting, once again, these are items that you could hold off on until you have it, but I would still recommend getting them done up front, because the first person you walk into be like, this is amazing, like let's set up a meeting. So the sales kit should be informational items. You can get a custom folder made if you want to have that information stored in. It should showcase the benefits to the community. It should showcase the benefits to the management company, how you handle violations, uh, just how the service works, and then pricing for the service. And then finally, your website. So your website is a huge key to this, because not only it makes you look professional, but usually the first thing someone does when they get a business card or a flyer and they're interested, they will actually go to the website. And they'll, if you have a website up and ready to go, you look professional, you look trustworthy, totally ready to go. Plus, the amazing thing about a website is it is a 24-hour a day marketing tool for you. So if it's 3 a.m. and a property manager can't sleep and they're just up on their own time, like, oh, I need to find a trash service, your website is there to give them answers to questions that they need, so that they will then call you later on in the day. Because you're not going to take a call at 3 a.m. Well, you might, but I wouldn't recommend it, because once you open that door of being outside of your rules of operation, some people can take advantage of that. But otherwise, I just recommend that your website is crucial, because it's a 24-hour marketing tool that they can find at any point of any day to help sell you. And like it says, it soft sells you to the potential customer, right? Answers their questions, kind of goes through the overview of what you do, gets them familiar with you. So now when you go into that call or into that meeting, you're already, it's already more of a warm lead than having to educate and say, this is the service, this is how we do it, this is what's going to go on when we integrate with your property. And then also it can capture leads, right? Whether that's a phone call, your phone number on there, hey, call us at our, phone number here, or send us an email and you get the email notification that someone is interested in setting up a meeting. So once again, that's a great tool to have. Number 6, source leads. So when you source leads, a couple here that we've listed are property management companies, obviously, because one property management company can own 1 complex, 2 complexes. It could own 100 complexes. You don't really know. We suggest when you start your valet trash business that you look at medium-sized to smaller property management companies, or even individually owned owner ones, because usually you'll get the decision maker a lot quicker. Because sometimes if you go after big ones right away, you could get them and you could get the meeting, which would be great. But a lot of times their home office is stationed in another state. So you kind of have to go further up a chain, property manager, regional vice president, and then into corporate before, an answer gets made. Where if you start with a medium size or a smaller one, you might be meeting with the property management company, and then it almost might go directly to the owner or the ownership group that owns that property. So property management companies, you can just, look for them in your area, whether it's through, a magazine or just by dropping in. Google search, obviously you can Google search apartment complexes in your area. Yelp is great, apartment complexes, and you can even search for some that have valet trash service. In Yelp, search for valet trash, see if some come up, because then right away you'll already know that it's going to be a warm lead. You're going to walk into something knowing, hey, they've got the service. Maybe I can put in a bid whenever their contract is up. Hey, oh, your contract's up in 8 months. Let me contact you in 2 or 3 more months, and let me put in a bid and see if we can win it for you. Which is great for the apartment management company, because now they'll have competing companies and they can get a better price, and you can maybe start to grow with a company that would open you up to more opportunity along the way. And then you can use Apartment Finder or Rent.com to kind of source apartment complexes as well, since they are essentially an online portal to apartments. Number 7, start marketing your business. So just walk in. You can do a walk-in, meet and greet, drop your information. You can cold call just over the phone and explain yourself. Once again, your elevator pitch comes in perfect here, because you're trying to, once again, win them over quickly on the phone. LinkedIn, you can search via property management companies or property managers in your area and try to reach out that way. Email marketing, if you start to acquire a list, or you go out and just, socially meet people, you can, start to market that way. Social media, you can go through Facebook if you wanted to. On a lot of apartment complexes have, their property on social media. So you could, contact directly and see if they're interested in a meeting. Google Ads, if you have a higher startup budget or a higher budget for your business, Google Ads can drive traffic to targeted traffic to your business, page to, bring in some leads for you. But that's more, that's more of, I would recommend more of an established, you've got, a few extra $1,000 that you're willing to spend on marketing, because, some of those can be expensive as the click comes through. And finally, number 8, expand your company. So once you've created the company, once you've started the company, you've got the contract, you've integrated, you're working on all cylinders here. Look at expanding your company. So you lock in your first property, you fully understand the business. I know exactly how valet trash service works, how it needs to be serviced, where it needs to start from. I can answer any and every question. I come across someone that is a garbage picker, and I know how to deal with that. All these things that could arise, you will kind of come through as your journey as growing your own business. So then you would, first recommendation is to expand with current property management company that you're with. So ask them, hey, are there other opportunities or other properties that you own that you'd be willing to expand to? And that point, you can negotiate price with them if you want to give them a little bit of a discount per door for all properties they include. Or a lot of times property managers will jump jobs quite a bit. So if you stay in contact, you might be able to find them at another property that they might be willing to bring your service in on. Or look at close by cities. The next closest city might be an hour or 2 hours away. Is it something where you've dominated your market now and you're like, well, I could go one city over, and if there is an issue, I can still reach there because it's only a 2-hour drive, but I would need to hire a valet, and this would be my real test to start to expand businesses. And then start to hire valets and sales associates, right? This is when you're growing your business. You want to start taking things off your plate, like the sales and like the servicing the complex, because then you at this point, you're the visionary, right? This is your business. You get to make the decisions on where you want it to grow. So the best way to do that is, by hiring solid people below you. The sales associate would take a lot of, they're there for one thing, to sell, because right now as a business, if it's you and a partner or a couple guys starting it up, or girls, whatever it might be, it can be a lot. You're wearing a lot of hats, right? You have to do the accounting, you have to do the sales, you have to do the servicing, you have to do, everything. So when you start to kind of delegate, that's when you can really start to focus on growing your business. So overall, starting your own valet trash business doesn't have to be stressful, as it sounds. I've kind of laid out some details here to kind of help jumpstart you and get you going in the right direction. But really, all you have to do is, if you think through the process, you just have to take some measured steps and make sure you start off on the right foot. So it's a great way to kind of, get going and jump into it and see if it's really a business for you, because the startup cost is low, the money that you can make is high. And if at any point you want more information, come on over to National Trash Valet and take a look at some of the training courses we offer and some of the help that we can give on helping start a valet trash business. So thanks for watching this ultimate guide on how to start a valet trash business. If you liked what you saw, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos to come on contracts, running a business, starting up more, how to market it. All those fun things are definitely on the way. Thanks a lot. Bye.